Hey everyone, welcome back to 5 Minutes Fluentcast. Let me start with a simple question. Have you ever felt proud of being tired? Proud of saying, I'm exhausted, I didn't stop all day, or I'm always busy? In today's world, working nonstop is often seen as a virtue. Being busy looks like success, discipline, and ambition. But what if working all the time isn't a sign of strength, but a warning sign from your body? Today, we're talking about work addiction, how it silently affects your body and mind, and why being productive doesn't mean being constantly exhausted.
Hi, everyone. I love this topic because work addiction is one of the most socially accepted addictions. People don't usually question it, they praise it. But behind the long hours, constant pressure, and inability to disconnect, there's often anxiety, stress, and a body that never gets the chance to recover. This episode is really about understanding the cost of always being on.
Work addiction isn't simply working hard or caring about your job. It's when work becomes compulsive, when you feel guilty resting, anxious when you're not productive, or unable to mentally disconnect even during free time. The key difference is control. Healthy work is something you choose. Work addiction is something that controls you. Your thoughts revolve around tasks, deadlines, performance, and expectations, even when your body is asking for rest.
And what makes work addiction tricky is that it often hides behind responsibility. People say, I'm just committed, I have a lot of goals, or this is just a busy phase. But when that phase never ends, the body starts paying the price. The nervous system stays in a constant state of alert, as if there's always something urgent happening. And biologically, the body can't stay in that state without consequences.
One of the first systems affected by work addiction is the stress system. When you're constantly working, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline over long periods of time. In short bursts, these hormones are helpful, but when they stay elevated day after day, they start harming the body. You may notice fatigue that doesn't go away with sleep, difficulty relaxing, irritability, and frequent tension in the neck, shoulders, and jaw.
And chronic stress doesn't just affect how you feel, it affects how your body functions. High cortisol levels interfere with digestion, immunity, sleep quality, and even hormone balance. That's why people who are addicted to work often get sick more easily, have digestive issues, or struggle with insomnia. The body is constantly preparing for a threat that never ends.
The brain also changes under constant pressure. When you're always working, the brain gets used to stimulation, urgency, and problem solving. Over time, it becomes harder to slow down. Simple activities like resting, reading, or being present with others can feel uncomfortable or boring. This happens because the brain starts associating worth with productivity.
That's why many people feel anxious during weekends or vacations. When work stops, the mind doesn't know how to be still. Instead of relaxation, there's restlessness and guilt. And emotionally, this can lead to burnout, anxiety, and even depression, not because people don't love their work, but because they never give themselves permission to stop.
The body is always communicating. We just don't always listen. With work addiction, common physical signals include chronic headaches, muscle pain, digestive problems, shallow breathing, and constant fatigue. Sleep may become lighter and less restorative because the nervous system stays active even at night. Over time, this constant overload increases the risk of heart problems, high blood pressure, and metabolic issues.
And the scary part is that many people normalize these symptoms. They think this is just how life is. But feeling constantly tense, exhausted, or disconnected from your body is not normal. It's a sign that something is out of balance.
One of the deepest layers of work addiction is identity. When your self-worth becomes tied to productivity, resting feels like failure. You start measuring your value by how much you do, not by who you are. That mindset makes it very hard to set boundaries, say no, or slow down, even when your health depends on it.
And ironically, overworking often leads to worse performance in the long run. Creativity drops, focus declines, mistakes increase, and motivation fades. Rest is not what makes people lazy. Lack of rest is what breaks them.
So work addiction isn't about ambition or discipline. It's about a nervous system that never gets to rest. True productivity isn't about constant effort. It's about sustainable energy. Your body and brain were designed for cycles, effort and recovery, focus and rest.
When rest disappears, the cost shows up in health, relationships, and emotional well-being. Working less doesn't mean caring less. It means working in a way your body can actually support.
Here's a simple practice you can start this week. Choose one moment each day where you intentionally disconnect from work. No emails, no tasks, no planning. Even 20 or 30 minutes of real mental rest can help your nervous system reset.
And pay attention to how your body reacts when you slow down. Discomfort at first is normal. It's a sign your system is used to overload. With time, rest will start feeling safe again.
Thanks for listening to this episode of 5 Minutes Fluentcast. If this topic resonated with you, remember, your value is not measured by exhaustion.
Rest is not the opposite of productivity. It's what makes it possible.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Take care.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Fluentcast.
If you enjoyed this conversation and learned something new,
Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
we post new episodes with real English and real ideas about life.
You can also download the PDF with the full transcript of this episode. The link is in the description below.
And here's an important tip. Try listening to this same episode every day for 1 week.
Repetition helps you understand more deeply, notice new expressions, and improve your listening skills.
This is how real learning happens, naturally and step by step.
See you next time.
Bye.